So volatility, we live in a very volatile environment, even when promises are made. In fact, you mentioned the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal had an article not too long ago that says a lot of the offers that were made to people are now being rescinded.
Right.
So there were offers that people made to hire you, right? They'd say, yeah, we want you to start in a month, want you to start in 2 months. You went in, you went ahead, you put your things out, you've quit your job, and now you get a letter from HR that says, market conditions have changed, we no longer need that position. Sorry, good luck. And because you signed, at the bottom line of your application, it says if they rescind the offer, you're okay with that. Buried in the, zero size font that you never read. It is what it is. So we live in a very volatile world. So the client base that you have, don't assume first and foremost that the customers you have are going to be your customers tomorrow. I want you to make a blanket statement in your mind and say, what would happen if every single client that you had, prospect that you had, or somebody you were working with now ceases to exist? What would your business do? So volatility is going to be a critical element. How about uncertainty? Most people don't know what they don't know. It's the devil you don't know as opposed to the devil you do know. Most people there's a great line that I love to use. Sitting on their biscuit, not wanting to risk it.
Yeah.
Now there are people that will not do the very things they know they should be doing because they don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. Even though we always talk to people that you think in terms of the president. Right? You can't change the past. There's no guarantee of it tomorrow. You have to work with regard to the present. So now you have uncertainty. So now the people that were already tenuous about making a purchase, right? Looking at a new house, looking at a new car. Now they've got all these additional impediments on top of that where maybe they can't find the house they want or they can't afford it because now interest rates are higher. Or maybe they're concerned about their job because they're one of the people that are likely going to fall into the questionable categories of whether or not they're going to stay gainfully employed. Uncertainty. Complexity. There are so many moving parts out there in all of these. It isn't a black and white. There isn't any one of these issues. Right? You have half the world that believes one way, and there's a lot of reason why they should, and they might even be right. Then you get the other half of the world thinks the other way, and they may be right too. How do you handle that? How do you handle the complexity of all the moving parts? You have a business. You're trying to create a business. You're selling a product. You're selling a service. And now you have all of these other moving parts that you never had before, and now you have to deal with this Wall Street comes to Main Street type of ideology where the person sitting at their house in Indiana now is affected by the things that historically only affect the largest of the companies out there in the world. Energy production, gasoline, retirements, all the things that are now coming into place. And the last one is ambiguity. The ambiguity idea is that there's all kinds of, again, although there's a lack of perfection in the world, there's all this complexity, but at the same time, the complexity itself is muddy. There isn't a very clear way to look at anything. There isn't okay, this is the way that it is, or this is the way that it is. So even now as you're making decisions, these decisions you're making through this, again, this cloud of ambiguity. So when the War College came out with the idea, this V.U.C.A concept, they went to all branches of the military and said, from now on, regardless of what you do, any plan that you have is critically important for you to put through this filter.